Hello, my name is Barry Smith. I'm a longtime collector, researcher, part-time dealer in historical American documents, autographs. I've been coming to Mebane Auction House, run by John Lambert, for many, many years, and have found some great things here. Recently, large family collection of the Dillard family from Virginia came to John's auction. John invited me to come down and look at these items because he knew of my interest in historical paper. And what I found was amazing. And I want to share with you just a few of the items that are my favorites and tell you a little bit about other items that will be in the 200 lot sale on September 26th. Among the earliest documents were 4 land grants signed by Thomas Jefferson. They were for a total of about 630 acres of land around in Amherst County, Virginia, each personally signed by Thomas Jefferson. The body of the documents were written by one of his land office secretaries. They're dated 1780 and 1781. Other deeds included a 1792 deed signed by Governor Henry Lee, also known as Light Horse Harry Lee, during the Revolutionary War. He was governor of Virginia and later became a general in the early U.S. Army until about 1812. Another one, 1789, is 400 acres of land signed by Governor Beverly Randolph. This is dated 1789 and it's issued to James Dillard. All of these are issued to James Dillard, a Revolutionary War veteran and one of the patriarchs of the Dillard family line. Among the other things that I thought were really nice, a large group of political letters, 14 political letters, 1830s to 1850s, written regarding Virginia politics and national politics, including such things as who should be a candidate for president or for the local legislature, or letters inviting someone to be involved in the election of the legislature. This is really a neat item for political collectors. It's one of my favorites. It's a Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren ballot from 1832 in really nice condition. I've been told that that's a very rare item. So we move up to the period in the 1850s and 60s. There are a lot of pieces of postal history, so those interested in postal history should check those out. There are a number of lots, stamped envelopes from 1851 to 56, 57, folded letters, stampless envelopes and covers, stampless letters from the 1830s, 40s, 50s, most of them various places in Virginia. Let's get in towards the Civil War. This is a list of sponsors, the amount of money they're putting up from Amherst County to equip a regiment from that area. Looks like several hundred names, anywhere from $50 to $5 to $25. There's a large group of Virginia militia commissions from about 1820s up to 1860, all issued to one man. His name was Tertia Dillard. He started as a second lieutenant, became first lieutenant in the 1830s or so, captain, lieutenant major, lieutenant colonel, and in 1860 he was appointed brigadier general of the militia. The militia was like the home guard. Tertia Dillard was also a lawyer, and he was murdered in 1863. This is his commission in the Confederate Virginia Army. He became colonel of the local home guard. This is his home guard commission, signed by Governor John Letcher. There are 2 wonderful Civil War Confederate lots. I think these are just, well, actually there are 3. There's a large group of letters, but I haven't had a chance to read those yet, but they're all by one lieutenant who served in Early's division, and his name was William W. Larkin. The regiment and the division he served in as head of the Provost Guard was in a lot of major battles, including Gettysburg and Chancellorsville and others. This is one of the most fascinating lots, I think. It regards Virginia Military Institute and a cadet who fought in the Battle of Newmarket with his fellow cadets. His name was William Dillard. He joined just 1 week shy of his 17th birthday in August of 1863. He wrote a letter to his mother, late August of 63, telling her about his new life at Virginia Military Institute, who his roommates were. I think he had 5 other than himself, and about life and getting used to military life. Very interesting letter, written from Camp Lee, near Virginia Military Institute. So there's a letter to his mother, August. There's another letter written to his mother, headed Virginia Military Institute, December 14th, 1863. In this letter, I want to read you the first part of it. They haven't had much time. This morning, while I was in the section room reciting my math, a courier arrived with dispatches from General M. Bowden to General Smith. General Smith was head of the VMI at that time, asking him to come on as fast as possible with the cadets and Home Guard, and that the Yankees were crossing the Shenandoah Mountains in considerable force and would probably advance on Staunton. We are all now in the greatest hurry imaginable, preparing to march. General Smith has ordered 3 days of cooked rations and several days' rations uncooked. We are much better prepared now for the soldier's life than we were heretofore. We have now knapsacks and haversacks, rifles, and plenty of ammunition. And my dear mother, I shall have to go, as I cannot honorably stay behind, although I know I would prefer to remain where I am. As I said earlier, William Dillard participated in the Battle of Newmarket when the cadets were called out. There were over 200 cadets that showed up. They were fighting against General Franz Siegel's regiments. They did a magnificent job. They actually beat the Yankees and forced them to retire from the field and move elsewhere. This was a very famous event in the history of Virginia Military Institute. And of the cadets that fought, 10 were killed and 47 were wounded. And William Dillard, whose letters I just read to you, was wounded in the head and severely in the right leg. So during the next months after the Battle of Newmarket, he was convalescing, probably in a hospital. I don't know that for sure, but you would imagine. The next item we have is a short diary. At that time, the cadets were in the trenches around Richmond. The diary is mostly written in pencil, easy to read, and is about 20 pages long. December, when William came down with pneumonia, he was put into the hospital and received a medical furlough to go home to Amherst. He stayed there, eventually did recuperate, but was paroled there at home. He afterwards attended the University of Virginia. Virginia Military Institute had been destroyed by the Union artillery in the summer of '64, so there was no institute to return to. So he attended the University of Virginia. After that, became a prominent lawyer and a judge in Virginia. One of the most fascinating and I think most valuable Civil War pieces in this group is a one-page letter written from Appomattox, Headquarters Early's Division, which was commanded by General James A. Walker at that time. April 10th, 1865, General Lee had surrendered the Army of Northern Virginia the day before to General Grant. The Confederate Army was still at Appomattox. And this letter is all in the hand of General James A. Walker. And it's written to Lieutenant William W. Larkin. And he was, Larkin at that time was commanding the Provost Guard. And I'd like to read parts of this letter because it's wonderful. Remember, this is the day after the surrender while the troops were still at Appomattox. It says, Lieutenant, as the Army of Northern Virginia is about to be disbanded, you, as Commandant of the Provost Guard of this division, have been more immediately under my eye and directions while I have been in command. I take this final opportunity to express my high appreciation of your conduct as an officer and tender you my warmest regards and wishes for your future welfare. And now, In the hour of disaster, I find you among the noble few who gather around the standard of the South. Such continued conduct of perseverance, courage, and high honor in the line of duty will ever secure to you the approbation and esteem of all good men, as you have mine. I am yours very respectfully, J.A. Walker, Brigadier General. Interestingly, General James A. Walker had been a student of Stonewall Jackson's at Virginia Military Institute. One day in class, he got into an argument with his teacher, Jackson, and challenged General Jackson to a duel. He was, of course, immediately removed from VMI, never to return there. During the war, he served under General Jackson. And after Jackson was killed in May of 1863, General Walker became commander of the Stonewall Brigade, following the man who he had challenged to a duel earlier, and they became good friends. This is a great piece, written from Appomattox a day after the surrender. Among the Larkin letters and other Larkin papers was this image, 6-plate, I believe ambrotype, of a Confederate officer who we believe to be William W. Larkin. And you can see he's holding a pocket pistol, a Virginia-made sword, and his kepi. Very clear image. This will be sold separately. Anyone interested in historical paper, historical America, historical Virginia, Civil War, autographs, should definitely check out this auction. Don't bid against me, but check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. You'll find something to bid on. Thanks.